And make sure I turn the microphone on. Welcome to Good Chats, folks. G'day, Steve. Welcome to Luke's Fishing, and welcome to the other 8 people who are probably wondering what the hell is going on here. So welcome to Good Chats. This is a live stream by Outdoors Type. I'm Mike, and I'm the bloke who makes the videos with drone shots, cinema of old railways and stuff. And so this is a bit of a behind the scenes look. This is a bit of a chat. This is an opportunity for me to learn as much from everyone that's out there live on YouTube as much as it is an opportunity for me to show you what's going on. So I still don't really know what it is, just evolves as it is. Welcome aboard, Ree. Thanks for coming on board. In the magic window there, I always get that wrong. There is, we're playing the video that came out last Thursday, which is the Hawker to Marie line. G'day, Pete Donaldson. Welcome aboard. G'day, Van Couple, Dan Amber. How you going? Archer, how you going? God, don't make me laugh. Yes, I remembered to turn the microphone on for a change. Excuse me. G'day, O'Malley Tours. Welcome aboard, mate. And g'day, Brian Wilson, 2024. Welcome aboard, sir. So, what have you all been up to this week? This week I have been madly planning away and getting things sorted and trying to extricate myself from walking SA as best I can, because things are really ramping up around my outdoors type projects. So yeah, let us know what you've been up to, what you've been doing, what YouTube videos you might have been watching that are pretty excellent, because I like to support everybody's channels as well here. So yeah, the big news is that I'm all set up for the presentation on Sunday down at the National Railway Museum in Port Adelaide, where I'll have Bob Sampson with me as we do a viewing of the South Mainline video that I did a few months ago, as we do that on the big screen down there in the theatre at the museum. And I have to say I was pretty blown away with the setup. They've got like this Stream Deck setup, right, where you can press one of 5 buttons to play, to make it play one of the videos on the big screen. And I tell you, it just hits different when you see some of that scenery on a much bigger screen than you are. So I am looking forward to that one. Hopefully might be able to draw a few people in, make a few extra bucks for the museum, but also provide a point of interest for the members and just the people who happen to be there as well. So I look forward to also seeing, how much that, what that does for the museum. It's my way of giving back for all the support they've given me with images and stuff like that. G'day, Boeing Expert 717. How you doing? How's Coffs Harbour tonight, or Tormina, or wherever it is you're up around that way? G'day, Mr. Jaximus. How is it around your way at the moment, wherever your way is at? Probably been playing video games with Boeing Expert. I don't know. And yeah, the new video is out. Thanks, Pete. It's a mix of what I love to do. So it's plenty of opportunity out there to fly a drone, and I'm glad the weather held out. It's really interesting because the weather forecast was forecasting some ominous signs of windy weather, which only lasted for a couple of hours on the first day, which was great. Yeah, right, you guys. It's recovering rapidly from floods, whereas I think we might be starting to recover a little bit from drought down here in South Australia. I've had a bit of rain recently, which is good, which actually wet the ground and kept it wet, which is a massive change as well. So hopefully we get a bit more for those farmers out there. So this video has encouraged me as well, and some of the feedback and some of the discussions I've been having recently have encouraged me to move forward with applying for the grant to $10,000 grant to make a video on the whole Old Garden line from Port Augusta up to Alice Springs. And so g'day Gary, how you going? Welcome aboard. um, yeah, man, I get around. That's for damn sure. Where did you see me traveling through town, man? There's not a lot of people out there in those towns that I've been traveling around recently. That's for damn sure. But it looks like I'll be back because, as I was saying, I'm really hoping I'm going to go for gold for this grant to cover the operational costs of making a video about the entire line from Port Augusta to Alice Springs in my style, which hasn't been done before. So, yeah, looking forward to working further on that. And, even if I don't get the grant, it will have advanced the project just a little bit further in working out all the planning and stuff. Yeah, I've got a big spreadsheet there where I'm planning some of the distances and some of the costs, and planning more than one trip, actually, because I would need to make more than one trip. The cost of renting a four-wheel drive is just too much, so I need to kind of rent that for as few days as possible. G'day Harvey, welcome aboard. Yeah, wouldn't it be awesome? I think it's about time that I sort of lent my skills to something a bigger project, and this will definitely be a bigger project. And so yeah, we're looking at the main sort of time I'll be producing the video and getting out there won't even be until May 2026. So it's a long-term plan. We'll see how we go. You just go off at the central markets. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it, man. It's a real privilege to have found something that's just a bit different. I don't think people really celebrate the history. Obviously, I don't think that the history of South Australia's railways, and I don't think enough people really know and understand what went before. So that's what I try and do, is bring it out to people on YouTube. It sounds like a project. Brian Wilson, I'm available always on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can find my email address if you click on my description and uncover the email address in my YouTube channel. Feel free to get in touch if you think there might be something that you can offer me. I've described what the project is there, and I'll keep talking about it until it's done. You're stuck with me talking about it for another year now. But yeah, we will definitely push this project forward and make it happen. Plenty of other projects happening in the meantime, though. Oh, g'day, Harvey. Welcome aboard, man. You're going to Murray Bridge. That could be a possible another project coming up soon too, man. But yeah, there's heaps to see around Murray Bridge, man. Have a look at the sort of near the end of the South Main Line video. There's the old engine sheds up where the railway line sort of starts coming into Murray Bridge and crosses the Madam Road. You got the old railway station precinct, all of the old admin buildings across from the station. You wander around the bridge there, and the old bridge manager's person's house. And then go down to the riverfront where there's still carriages down there. Dave, welcome aboard. G'day from Adelaide, and thanks for representing the Darwin River community, Dave. Yeah, cool, Brian. No worries. I think anyone can tell that, yeah, I'd love to work with people on videos, and the opportunity to work with history groups, community groups, and all of this other stuff, and go really deep into this, and probably create, a video that's about an hour long, and would not only be an overview, but I'll get a lot more interviews with people done, and a lot more talking into the video as well. So that leads me on to the projects I was talking about too. On Friday, I was down talking to Jeff Justice Nottle, who's the last station master of Quorn. I was talking to him, and I'm looking at trying to develop a spoken word project about his time at all of these railway stations and in the old SAR. Oh, okay. Requested to go to Tim Top and Glen Ray. Yes. Yeah, man, it'd be rough up that way. So good luck getting to Timbertop, man. The tracks there were pretty bloody rough 2.5 years ago. So I don't know if they've done some regrading or some serious repairs on that. Who knows? It's probably all about the forestry stuff, isn't it? I don't actually know what the old loco is that they have at the wharf. I can get you. Hang on, I'm just reading what Harvey said. I can get through Red Hen over through. They come in the South Australia for us. There would be a railway precinct out there. That's the first I've heard of that, Harvey. A Barossa railway precinct. So if you've got any details, man, just send it through to me on the old FB or Insta or whatever. DM, all that stuff. And so that project, working with Jeff, will lend itself, I think, to a lot of things in future too. So I'm doing a lot of work on, because I recorded my own voice, but it's a different thing working on recording somebody else's voice. So I got the history here from him the other week. He was a youth porter at Warrabara in 1970, and then in 1972 he transferred to Peterborough as a youth porter in the yard. He relieved at Gladstone for 5 months, and then he became a clerk at Peterborough until the end of 1972. And then relieved then was a clerk at Port Pirie until 1975, and then relieved as acting station master for 5 months at Wilmington, then a station master finally at Wanby in 1975, Quorn in 1976, Boolaroo in 1977 for 6 years, and then Kimber for 4 years, where he finished up in 1987. G'day, Anthony Walsh. Welcome aboard, sir. Yeah, thank you. And it's, I'm exploring Adelaide and South Australia with a whole new point of view now too, that I'm looking at it through this lens of history. G'day, Lyle. Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I reckon you're right, Pete. I reckon it's an RX. There's an awful lot of RXs out there, isn't there? So this will be interesting. This will, I think, lead itself to some projects where I can dig a little bit deeper into imagery. I'm also starting to reach out and hopefully get access to more footage and video archives in the future that can also lend a bit of movement and colour to potential video projects that I might base around Jeff talking about his experiences. Hello, Tormina. Welcome aboard. The Honourable Representative for Tormina has arrived. And Lucky 111 has arrived as well. Thanks for coming on board. We're kind of about halfway through it now at the moment. Upcoming projects, Gawler project's a little bit stalled because I've been a little bit busy this week with other things, and I think working out this grant stuff has been really interesting for me. So the Gawler project is going to be a little bit different because obviously there's a lot more constraints on drone flying in the metro area, and so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of what I can achieve with that. It'd be more of a ground-based video, but hey, some of my ground-based videos do pretty well as well. It's all about the history at the end of the day, and the drone shots really are just an awesome, different way of looking down upon history, I guess. Ah, there you go. Thanks, Brains Trust. Appreciate it. I always learn more from the chat room on the stream, I think, than I sort of give out. You know what I mean? So, anyway, this is not going to be a huge one tonight. Sometimes they might even be under half an hour because I was just talking about that good catch up with Jeff. And while I was down there, he gave me a book as well. This is the final edition of Australian National News. And funnily enough, edited by Graham Dorling. And I think most railway fans would have heard of Graham Dorling before. Interestingly, Graham probably took a lot of his design cues from 1990s rave flyers. This looks exactly like some of the old rave flyers that I've got up on the old poster from years ago. Yes, that's right, Harvey. Yeah, the York Peninsula, the Butte Railway Precinct. Yeah, cool. Hey, Andy. Yeah, I'm a bit content exhausted after everything I've been doing this week. There's been a lot going on, and I'll have more to say about that. And I've had a lot to say about that this time. And sometimes I play my video on the live stream, the last video that I did, and we'd talk about it. But the last video is 45 minutes long. So, you know, and on Sunday... And on Sunday, I'll have a lot more to say when we present the South Main Line in 2 sessions, where we get to see the video on the big screen for 45 minutes, and then talk about it for 45 minutes afterwards. I've been doing a lot of work with the old historians. Graham Dorey's one of them. This was the last edition of AN News in 1997, and one of the reasons I like this is because of the design. It just sums up the 1990s just like that. It sums up all the graphic design software and hardware that was available at the time, and it was kind of the most awesome thing you could do with it. So as a design nerd, I love this. And so the way all of this stuff is just laid out, you know what I'm saying? Good question, Andy. Now you mentioned that, like, what is the best fact I learned all week? And there was something earlier this week. I'll have to think about it, or it'll have to come back to me. I'm like, well, that's one of the best things I've learned in a really long time. I probably should write that stuff down. Well, hang on. Well, Graham Dorling, that's right. Not Graham Dorey. You're close, but Graham Dorling. There we go. That's the bloke there. So it's funny, the things that I pick up here. That's for sure. I'm still thinking about that interesting fact, because I did learn an interesting fact, and it was something that I should have known a long time ago. But at any rate, thanks, Shane Oways. Welcome aboard, man. Yeah, the old AN sort of fonts and stuff like that. But the real book, and so yeah, that's part of the value of collecting things and going out and meeting people, and so he'd been very generous with his time as well. So yeah, next book of the week, though, the real book of the week this week is this one that I picked up at the train show last week. This is why I went to the train show, right? So this is Line Clear, 100 Years of Train Working, Adelaide to Surbiton, by Rhys Jennings. He's a big, massive figure in the old South Australian history community as well. And, you know, it's through these people and these books that I owe a lot of the basis for my research to, and a lot of the basis for why I head out there as well. So, yeah, 100 Years of Train Working, right? Got this for a bit of a steal. This was back when it was the Mile End Railway Museum, right? And it was published in 1986. It was laid out by Bob Sampson, who'll be with me on Sunday at the session that I probably talked about a whole bunch of times down at the National Railway Museum. Come and see us, 11:30 and 1:30. Normal museum admission fees apply. No worries, Boeing. Oh God, my chat's just gone. Yeah, you're right, Brian. It can't be told, and the history to me, like, is disappearing in these books. But just bear with me here for a minute. So, all the usual stuff, and it talks about the intercolonial agreement at the beginning there between Victoria and South Australia, how they were going to run their trains and put their trains together and stuff. A few more interesting facts and great pictures. This is one of the reasons I like these books. It's you can track down some pictures and some sources of those images that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise, and they're just easier to look through in a book format. And then from here it talks about, constructing all these vehicles and stuff like that, and goes into diagrams, and then it starts talking about the train working from Adelaide to Tailem Bend. I've got to be honest, right? All of this text here about train working and signalling, I can't do it. I really can't. So this is just a picture book for me, to be honest with you. This is also esoteric to a modern reader. But the diagrams are a great reference as well. So books like these go into so much detail, and honestly, some of it just makes my eyeballs roll back into my head. Some of the detail, with no disrespect to the people who worked on it, right? The images and the diagrams and the maps and stuff like that, the bibliographies, the credits, to me as a writer and a researcher, that's what's really interesting. And so Rhys Jennings, this is still a really important book in my collection, even though the signals and the train working stuff bores me to tears. Sorry. Yeah, g'day Zach, welcome aboard. Looking forward to Sunday, mate. Hopefully you'll be there and you'll be able to give us some help. I'd love people to come down and support the museum, most importantly. But at the same time, I'm going to be live streaming the second session from 1:30. So, and that was the last thing that I wanted to add. There's been so much going on this week that I've kind of rushed a bit of a list here at the end. I'll have a bit of a think about what content I can videos or images that I can chuck in the slideshow next week. Please feel free to send me some ideas. Now, that most interesting fact, I learned a couple of interesting facts, but I've just lost them, so I'll start writing them down now. Although, Andy, you did ask at one point, what's the strangest thing you've seen lately? Well, the strangest thing I've seen lately is what we got on screen here now. Just this random OFO bike out in Copley, the ones that you used to see dumped everywhere in the city, and were quite controversial until they were all dumped. That was one of the stranger finds. That and the mounds covered in gnomes a little bit further down the railway in the direction that we're looking at. There's a railway crossing there with a couple of mounds. The crossing is surrounded by all sorts of sparkly garden gnomes, so there is some weird stuff out there. I'll have a real think hard about that most interesting fact question for next week, Andy. Thank you. All right, let me see if I can actually get all of this stuff right and get the right things to come up on the screen at the end. Hey, there we go. And that should have transitioned now. Thank you, everybody, for coming on board. We've made it to 25 minutes into the stream, and I want to thank particularly all the replayers as well who sometimes make it this far into the stream. I want to thank everybody who joined the chat and everybody who didn't join the chat and just had a listen along. this has been Good Chats. It's a bit of a behind-the-scenes view of what's happening with what I do here on Outdoors Type, and I love having all of the regular crew on board because they bring so much to the table and we share so much information about history and everything that's going on, really. So, particularly around railways. Graham, there's some great stories about train working. If you're right into that, I'd thoroughly recommend it for people who are right into it. I'm still just not quite there on my railway history journey yet. But I get what you're saying there. Introduced a section with staffs with no names on them, totally against the whole method of safe working. Well, that just doesn't make sense, even with what little I know about train signalling. So yeah, they're the stories that need to be told. So yeah, it is this week. I'd love to do something a bit longer, but putting out a 45-minute video and working on this grant application has got me on the hop a little bit this week. As I've said, always feel free to send me some content and I can explore a little bit further, or we can watch and we can talk about. There will also be a live stream on Sunday from 1:30 where I'll be live streaming the live Q&A presentation down at the National Railway Museum with Bob Sampson. And exactly right, Brian. Everybody's into something different, right? And that's another reason why I do this live stream is to give everybody an opportunity to have a place to discuss a whole bunch of different stuff. I'm more about the communication side of things than I am particularly invested in any one part of it. I love to research this history and to share all this history. Thank you, Graham. I appreciate that. I do have questions about that, and I might just add one for next week because I won't ask it in the last 30 seconds of the live stream. Yeah, no problem, man. If you want to send some images that you want us to have a look at, photos that you've taken, and you want us to talk about them, or you want to know something about them, then we can share. I don't have Discord. Discord is bridge to. I've got too many social media platforms, and I spend too much time on. So Discord's just another one at the moment. Thanks, O'Malley. I will have fun on Sunday. Hopefully you can come along, but hopefully you can make it to the live stream as well. Same, Dan and Amber. It'd be great to see you down there. But of course, that's also why I'm doing the live stream, because we can't all be at the National Railway Museum this Sunday. Thank you, Luke. Yeah, we definitely need to catch up, mate, for sure. That would be great. Just look me up as Outdoors Type on Facebook, all one word, the same as the YouTube channel. I make it pretty easy to find me on the internet. That's kind of my job. So, yeah, thank you, everybody, for coming on board. It's time for what did Jason say the other day? It felt a bit like Romper Room. Go look up some old Romper Room videos, and it is a bit like that, actually. Thanks, Steve Klink, for coming on board. Thanks, Luke's Fishing in the Northern Territory. Go check out Luke's channel. Bro, thanks for coming on board. The Van Couple, go check out their channel as well. They're prolific on the shorts at the moment. Thanks for coming on board, folks. Pete Donaldson, sir, thank you for coming on board. O'Malley Tours Around the Grounds. Go check out Mike's channel there as well. Brian Wilson, thank you for coming on board. Boeing Expert, a nod there to Bellingen and Coffs Harbour. Thank you, sir, for coming on board. Mr. Jacksamars, Gary Warrior, good on you, mate. Stay warm out there in the city. Harvey, thank you for coming on board, dude. As always, Dan Simmons, again representing WA, making up for the lack of, Northern Territory, making up for the lack of WA representation tonight, eh? I don't know where WA is. Maybe they've fallen off the edge of Australia or something. Noel, thank you for coming on board. Luggy 111, Andy Munro, Shayna Ace, as always. Thanks for coming back, man. It's great to see people who've been around for a while are still digging it. Graham Dory, thanks for coming on board. Almost had you mixed up with Graham Dorling there for a minute. And Zach from Smart As Marbles. Good on you, man. Thanks for coming in. Better late than never, eh? Boeing. Oh, yeah, Boeing. Sometimes I just pronounce things that I know how to pronounce differently, just for the hell of it, just to get a reaction. Sorry, dude. All right, this has been Good Chats. We'll do this again every Wednesday night until whenever at 8:15 p.m. So I'll see you all next week. Peace.